First, I have to just kick off with a question. Clearly, the question is how? Because you're the mother and you're the daughter. How? Where? Like, let's talk about that first, because that's the elephant in the room.
Yes.
That's so funny.
Well, I think we've spoken about this quite a lot, but well, I'm 21. Katie's 37. 38.
Yeah.
And my character is 17. So in that time of Regency era, when the girls are getting married at 16 years old, it's actually right. And Katie, as we can all see, is beautiful, very fresh and very young.
Thank you.
But as in, I think there's been a lot of discussion online about how Katie's not meant to play a mom, but I mean, she has those good Asian genes, and there's nothing that we
Those are facts.
Yeah,
Those are facts.
skincare.
No, do you know what? My skincare routine is non-existent.
Stop.
I'm not even kidding. Like, I just.
Are you making us jealous that we
No, I'm not trying to do. It's just genetics, and also like. I may look fresh and all that on the outside. That's through 3 hours of hair and makeup. But on the inside, I'm dying.
And that's
Which is a great way to get into the character, because on the inside, your character is a monster.
Absolutely.
And the outside, what?
Yeah, I know.
So how did you prepare for this? Because you seem to be such a kind person.
Oh, thanks.
How did you prepare for this role?
I don't know, I think I took a lot of inspiration from my granny, who is quite a formidable woman. She's passed away, but God bless her. She was always kind of like the matriarch of the family, very dominant. Everyone does what she tells them to do, and she was just an incredible woman, and she would do these kind of side-eye glances that were deadly, and if looks could kill kind of thing. And I think I learned a lot of that from her. But inside she was, from her perspective, it was coming from a place of love and protection for her children. Like, she would have done anything for her kids. And I think it's the same for Araminta.
And we were talking about that earlier with your grandmother.
So I am first generation Asian American. My father's side of the family is Japanese. And first and foremost, let me say, it was, I was so deeply moved to see representation on the screen and in the Bridgerton universe. But I found myself in the same way, having so much compassion for Araminta because of my relationship with my own grandmother. And there is sort of that quintessential, cruelty, dragon lady, sort of like stereotypes are often based in reality.
Yeah.
And so I was curious if you were leaning into any personal relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think culturally, I speak for myself, I guess, but also from experience that I've just not been very good with expressing myself growing up. It's only now that I kind of realize the importance of kind of just being vulnerable and open and all these things. But certainly the women around me who raised me, it was just stiff upper lip. You just carry on, and you have to kind of just move forward no matter, what happens. You've got to pretend everything's fine. And I think Araminta's, had done that for so long, and she's built up these walls, and but inside she's soft and vulnerable, and she's a very hurt woman who, hurt people. So Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny you talk about the softness. I think we're all sort of watching this incredible thing happening with Alyssa Liu, who has come back, and she's killing it, and it's all stemmed from joy this time and not burnt out. And I think whatever the culture is, I'm Italian or being a strong Black woman or being Mexican, we all have to have this stiff upper lip.
POC.
And get that. But I do think generationally we're moving into this realm now of no more. It's killing us.
Soft girl era.
Soft girl era. And I will make fun of it with my therapist for the next I'm trying to get there, okay? Yeah. Do you think that we'll see in upcoming seasons maybe Araminta or the family leaning into this softer side as it continues on with her daughters as well? Because it, like you said, it does come from love.
It comes from love.
Yeah. I mean, certainly I feel like towards the end of the season or, you know, that kind of very last scene, we do see a sort of glimpse of Araminta where...
And we see her vulnerable.
Yeah.
Even with Posey.
Yes.
And, you know, whether or not that's a mask, you know, we have to see. But yeah, definitely in that last episode, we see Araminta kind of that wall breaking down because she can't hold it anymore. It's not like a choice that she made, but it's that, you know, with the pressure that she's put on herself and everyone has put on her, it's something's bound to crack.
Yeah.
And I think it's really nice that we get to see that.
Definitely.
I'm looking forward to that because right now I don't like you. I don't like you.
That's fine. If you get to the end of the season and you still don't like me, that is also
and that's what I wonder, because this is a character that you're like the villain. You're the wicked stepmom. I'm a bonus mom, as I call her. I have a 13-year-old bonus daughter, and I even get emotional right now. I know it's not real, but I literally teared up and like tears came to my eyes when I felt the disconnection. Did that do anything to you personally? Did you learn from this character about maybe how you didn't want to be as a mother, or if you end up in a blended family? How did that, or what did that teach you personally?
I mean, I have a 3-year-old, and, you know, our relationship is the opposite of what Araminta has with her children. And, like, it works. And, you know, everything that we do together comes from a place of love and joy. And I would not like to have it any other way. And in a way, like, because I've experienced that, I really sympathized with Araminta that she wasn't able to go there with her children with this kind of scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
So I think that really helped in kind of that transformation, because then it came, because then I was like, oh God, I really want to make sure that that I find the compassion for you, that then when I play you, I can find that nuance and not just make you a villain, because I also get it, because I've seen it in my grandmother, I've seen it in other women in my life, and it's just, you know, it's a lose situation.
Especially for that period, because women had to find ways to survive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kudos to you for playing that role so well, to make us feel like we cannot stand you. But then it's such a wonderful way you play it. I mean, it's not like over the top. You're not hitting us in the head with it. It's just like you said, you can do that stare, that glance, and you feel that ice cold, you know, so kudos to you. And I really relate to your character being the more sensitive daughter and caring daughter. And what I would like to know from you both is, were you fans of Bridgerton before you were cast? Also, when you were cast, did you have concerns that you would, did you have concerns whether you would be accepted into the Bridgerton fold by Bridgertonians, the fans?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I think I was a fan of Bridgerton before I watched it, and it was so exciting just knowing the casting brief that they had introduced a whole family of East Asian women. It was very exciting. It wasn't like you were this one quintessential, you know, trademark Asian person in the show, East Asian person in the show, but it was that there was 3 other Asian women who were being cast alongside you, and that was really, really exciting. And yeah, there was definitely a worry, but from what I'd seen and from what I'd met of the cast already, I think when our casting announcement came out, everyone was really supportive and really, you know, accepting of us. And I think the Bridgerton fans are really Bridgerton fans, that whatever the show ends up doing and how it changes from the books, they're quite, they're here for the journey, and they're here for us. And I think that's really special. So very quickly, the anxiety went away.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so, I mean, same with me. I found it, in my head, it was going to be this really overwhelming experience, and we go on to set, and, you know, it's like, you know, your first day of school or something. But because, you know, I'd met Isabella at the audition, and then we went for like lunch.
Yeah. Then we had hot pot all
Yeah,
together.
and we had coffee that one time.
We did.
Yeah, so like
yeah,
I
that
felt
was
like, you know, I was coming into it with someone I knew and like, you know, like family and that always helps. But then to actually meet the OGs and I was like, wow, these guys are just so friendly and welcoming and, you know, I just like I felt so safe to just be myself and then also to be able to play as an actor, just be like, I can do whatever I want and no one's going to judge me. And that's always really nice to be in that kind of space. Yeah.
Listen, speaking of fans, of course, there's the Bridgerton fandom. But people like Kim Kardashian were gushing about season 4 Bridgerton. She was cuddled up on her couch, yes, on her stories, locked in, baby girl. Oh my God. She was. Have you guys had any interactions online or in person with any major celebrities where you sort of fangirled out that they were fanning over you? You're like, thank you for loving me. I'm a fan.
Not yet.
Well, yes. Who? Do you know who followed me on Instagram? Who? Tagasik fan.
Oh, did she?
Yes, so there is a amazing Hong Kong food content creator who like makes Hong Kong recipes, and I found it very useful, especially since coming to London from Hong Kong. And I think you mentioned her
I
in
did.
an interview that you did.
Yeah.
And then she followed me on Instagram.
And you got really excited.
And I sent a picture to all of my friends because her recipes are awesome.
That's amazing. She is great.
That was my one interaction.
Okay.
Also, it's so cute to see you like that, right? Not because we like see you guys as like actors, but to see like just how human and darling and vulnerable, you know, everybody is in real life. It's just so nice to see you're still like just two gals doing your thing.
Just a girl.
Yeah, just two girls. Just two girls girling.
I'd like to say how fabulous you guys look. We were talking about your Louis Vuittons earlier. And you have matching shoes and you didn't even plan it.
I know.
No, we didn't.
Meant to be.
But I also want to ask you about the costumes, the wardrobe on the show. I mean, I tried my best to do like a Bridgerton type outfit.
You did it Araminta.
My homage. But I just would love to know how wonderful it is to wear those clothes. Or maybe it's painful, maybe it's wonderful, maybe it's both.
I'm not used to wearing dresses, I have to say. Like, you know, I like my joggies and my pajamas and like slippers. So anything beyond that, I'm like, oh, this is restricting. But you know, with Araminta especially, you know, she's got some great costumes. And they, you know, the costume department, credit to them, they tried to make it as comfortable as possible. So it definitely looks more comfortable than it is. Is that right? Yes. Yeah. So, but because they're so fabulous, you know, the minute I slipped into one of her dresses, like I just became the character, you know, and also my posture is terrible. But in one of her dresses, like I have to be like, I have to stand up straight and it's quite rigid. So, you know, being in the costume, I was 80% there, you know, so Yeah.
Speaking of being uncomfortable, you talk about the costume, but is there maybe a part, even in the end of season 4 or season 3, part 1, that you didn't feel comfortable and you had to maybe put your mindset into it or think about it a little bit more because your character is harsh and it is mean or maybe a softer part or something that you're like, oh wow, I gotta really work on this.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Not really. I mean,
Everything was easy.
everything
She's a professional.
She's a professional. Don't worry about it.
I mean, the thing that I was concerned with was like the etiquette of that time. I was like, you know, because naturally I like to cross my legs and stuff, and I was like, oh God, did they do that back then? And you know, there wasn't always somebody on set who was like,
Yeah, it's true.
Yes.
Or do you take your gloves off? Do you have them on?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Wow.
So no, it was actually a really kind of a choice to take my gloves off in two particular scenes. One with Posey where I'm like trying to be more vulnerable with her, and I was like, that's the moment I'm going to take the gloves off. But it's such a huge decision. Whereas like for us, like in modern life, it's like, I'm just take my gloves off.
Yeah. Do you have to wear gloves in the scene? I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Is taking the gloves off almost like unmasking in that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's something about like having bare hands
I think for Araminta,
For Araminta, yeah, it felt like a very vulnerable
Okay.
thing to do, because she's got the black gloves on, and she's just again like a wall, like a barrier. So taking them off just felt like a.
When you question things like that, what do you do? Google it, or like, like, did they do this back in the day?
ask probably.
Yeah, I asked.
Yeah, ask the script supervisor. I think, even just for my character, like eating, I don't know if the gloves stay on or off. I don't know why we're making this glove such a big deal.
Because it is.
But then, sometimes I think someone would tell me, or like if we ad-lib, kind of like whisper behind the camera, like don't say certain things because that wasn't said back in that time and things like that.
It's interesting because there's so much in Bridgerton that wouldn't have happened back in that time.
That's true.
But certain things that they want to be particular about.
I'd like to speak to Posey's character a little bit in the sibling relationship between her and Sophie, which almost feels like has to be hidden from Araminta, but there is so much love there, and which often happens between even step siblings, and it almost felt like she would have to consciously make a choice to betray her family in order to show love to Sophie. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I think it's perfectly like you said, it's a conscious decision, and it was a conscious decision for her to steal the shoe clips from Araminta and give them to Sophie. And I think although Posey does have a lot of love for her, she is still very afraid. And, in a different world, in a world where she felt more comfortable, Posey would have stood up to her from the beginning. But it speaks to a lot of, I think, even family dynamics, and especially a lot of Asian family dynamics, where you feel like you can't do certain things and you can't distance yourself in the way that maybe people would say, oh, you need to be independent, you need to be by yourself. I think it's nuanced and it's difficult sometimes. I think Posey, although she is very clumsy and can be kind of silly sometimes, she is smart, and she has those moments where she makes choices to stand up for what she believes in, even in small ways.
I just wanted to ask, obviously you play like a villainous character who I think will eventually love, but is there any character for either of you in the script that you would have also liked to have played, or maybe very intrigued by?
I would have loved to play the Queen. I think, although that headpiece is crazy. It's so heavy, so restricting, but I think Golda is amazing and she does it perfectly. And obviously I wouldn't be able to do the Queen as much justice as she would, but it would be fun to enter a room and have everybody, stop and stare.
Yeah.
She's hilarious.
She's great.
Sorrows, prayers.
She's brilliant. I think I'd like to play one of the male characters.
Yes.
Just to kind of see the difference, of like having that freedom.
Almost. Entitlement.
Right? Yeah. Maybe, I don't know.
You're playing in your mind right now.
I'm like, who of the Bridgerton brothers
Who's
would I
most
play?
entitled?
Yeah. Who's most? Maybe Anthony.
Yeah.
That would be like,
Well, thank you both so much. This has been an amazing experience to
so
get to know you, and we can't wait to hopefully fall in love with Araminta and her character in the future. And as well as see Sophie's love story. Posey's love story.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.